What's going on, everybody? I am extremely excited to have a gentleman here that I'm actually kind of lucky enough to call a friend at this moment, right? This guy is one of the kindest, individuals that I've ever met, and just one of the most humble individuals. Randy Jackson, what's good, man?
Yeah, what's going on, Walt? How you been, man? What's going on with you? You looking healthy?
Look, man, I feel healthy. I feel good. I'm living. I got a roof over my head. I'm paying my bills. I'm all right, man. You?
Looks like the pandemic. I'm good, man. I'm very good. Looks like the pandemic didn't do you any harm.
How's it, man? Healthy. Thank God. I got a healthy family, man. We're good, man. Yourself as well, I assume.
Amen. Yeah, bless. Amen. Thank you.
Love it, love it. Well, look, man, we wanted to, clearly we're doing a lot during this Black History Month, and having you here is incredible. You and I had a conversation some time ago. I wanted to really kind of broach that again because I think it's really important. So when we start talking about, mental health and holistic health, you have changed your lifestyle drastically, right? And I remember the first time we spoke a year and a half ago when we went on video, I saw you and I was like, holy shit, this guy's transformed. And so many people make that attempt, but it is difficult. I'm just curious to know, what was it that made you say, okay, I'm going to put my foot down and then make a change? Because, brother, you look amazing.
Thank you so much, man. Well, mine came as many people's does. Hopefully not as many as, they should stop this if they listen to anything we talk about today. But, I developed type 2 diabetes. So forever, people have been telling me, doctors, you got to lose weight, got to get your health together, got to exercise. Your sugar's all over the place. Something bad's going to happen. Wind up in the emergency room. Something bad happened.
Yeah.
Developed type 2 diabetes. Doctor comes in and says, listen, I got two different things. I got one good, one bad. What's the bad first? You got something there's no cure for it. What is it? Type 2 diabetes, but you can manage it. So I had no choice. So I talk about this because a lot of you out there listening, if you have a choice, make the change now, as Michael Jackson said in song. Man in the mirror, make the change. So you know what you really need to do. If you don't do it, some bad stuff is liable to happen. And, I had to finally get it together. You know what I mean? I was forced to get it together or maybe not be here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people are forced into having to do a thing when it comes to their health. You got to lose weight because of this. Like your blood pressure's high, so you got to lay off the salt and then start to exercise.
Right.
It's still hard to do that thing, right? Because we're so set in our current lifestyle. I'm just curious, what did that process start like for you? What did you say, okay, today is going to be this day that I do, boom.
Well, luckily for me, I was a double major in college, music and psychology. So I thought to myself, okay, I've tried every diet. I did the starvation, I did the you name it, all the crazy diets, I did them, right? They worked for a minute, didn't work for a minute, yo-yoing up and down. So what I did and what I suggest to a lot of people is I like those glasses, brother. I like these. Those are fly. Where'd you get those, man?
You know what? These are limited Randy Jackson editions.
Yo, look at these flies, Ever. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I apologize.
I went through what is called behavioral modification psychology. So in order to get you to change something, I got to change the way you look at it. Smoking, eating, whatever your bad habits are.
Yep.
If I can change the way you look at it, mental health, then maybe we got a shot at changing what the outcome is. Yep. If I don't, you're going to do it for a minute and go straight back to it. So I suggest people to do that. A lot of people are afraid of therapy. People are afraid of everything. But you have to choose that you want to be healthy, physically, mentally, and any other way. You have to choose. If you make that choice, you got a head start, and then you got to get people to help you. Got to assemble a little small team.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Yeah, it's great that you said that too, because I feel like, when we talk about, Black people, I think, have a really hard time with therapy, right? Like having to go someplace, having to actually talk to someone like these two, having to talk to someone about their problems and being open about it's difficult. And a lot of times we don't own up to those type of conversations, right? It's like, oh, it's not manly. But it's so important that we actually get in and engage in these type of conversations because, again, mental health, especially in this moment that we're in these past couple years, it's real, and it's real.
I mean, all of it's real, and especially for us as a people, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I used to hate going to the doctor. You only go to the doctor when something's drastically wrong. Supposed to go for a checkup every year. I wound up like every 2 years, maybe. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like really not being cognizant and really in it and really paying attention to your body. Because you think, oh, the bad stuff's going to happen, but not to me.
Yep.
What? It happens to anyone. It happens to everyone, every day. And I grew up in the lovely, dirty, dirty South in Louisiana, eating every piece of fried, sugary, everything. You know, the vegetables got a ton of sugar on
Yeah. Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Corn is not a vegetable, but they tell you it's a vegetable. You know what I'm saying? It's cream corn with cream and sugar. You're like, yo, this is a heart attack waiting to happen. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I grew up like that, and it's hard to stop eating like that. I think Cinnabon was probably created down there. Couldn't
Oh,
get any sweeter.
that's so
So
good.
he's thinking about Cinnabon right now. Look at
So
you.
good.
Stop it.
It's
Stop
so good,
it.
man. So let me ask, man, when you actually started going about doing that, did you set a goal? Was it like, okay, the goal I'm going after right now is X amount of hundred of pounds, whatever?
No, I didn't think about that. All I thought about was trying to get healthy. I
Okay.
threw away the scale, didn't want to know about the scale. I just wanted to get my body right and feel because all of those things are just weird things.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of disturb you a little bit and you pay too much attention to it, like getting addicted to social media or something. But I got clued in on one thing. I started getting my education together. I found out that gut health was the key to everything. So that's why I have Unify Health Lab now, the gut health brand, because every disease, everything starts in the gut. You don't realize it, but look at you, look at you, look at him promoting. This is my look, big
So,
endorser, right? He got the eyewear on, he got the vitamins. Look at
so,
that.
so, so please tell us.
Represent, brother, represent,
So
represent.
tell us, please tell us about Unify, because now I'm interested, because now we're talking about your holistic approach. And can I say, that I'm putting on my Vanna White. This is some impressive boxing. Like this is packaging is for real. All of your packaging is for real. So tell us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. I had to make it fly. Come on, I couldn't just
Okay.
be, it's me. It's the dog in here. Like
Hey,
I gotta keep it gully and sexy and cool. I thought about the colors, the design. We
really.
went through everything, but I mean, the thing is that your gut. Yeah, there's so many foods that are not good for us. We constantly eat them.
Yeah.
All those fried foods, unfortunately, they taste good, but they're not good. All those sugary things taste good, but they're not good. And everybody with the snacks is reaching for salty or sugary or both, and not good. So that wrecks your health, your
Yeah.
gut health. It wrecks it. So you find yourself being bloated, feeling full, nausea, heartburn. I mean, all the bad stuff. And you go, well, maybe I shouldn't be eating that much of the hot sauce. No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to divorce food completely and start adding elements back one at a time. See what really would work with my body, what made me feel good, what made me feel bad. And I had to be realistic. I knew there was going to come a time that I would never not eat something sweet. But because if I start denying myself, I'm just going to gouge and gorge and go and have 10 of them. But if I have a little bit of one, it's okay to taste a little bit of one. I maybe could do that. So I learned to do that. If you had a birthday party, you want a piece of cake, everybody's eating cake. Let me have this all this slice. I have a couple bites and I'm good. So I
Wow.
didn't deny myself because behavioral modification psychology tells you if you deny yourself, get ready for the binge, bro. The binge is going, you're going to go off
Yeah.
because eating is emotional.
It is. It is.
Sad, happy, depressed, lonely. Uh, it's a satiation thing, and we do it to try and appease ourselves of whatever emotion that we're not fulfilled with, because we can control eating. You know, that's why in all the movies you see the girl with the box of chocolates and the ice cream. She's just sad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's a real thing. It's real.
I feel you.
So
And when you,
I had to educate myself. Well, I didn't know all these things, but I found all these things. That's what led me to start the healthcare line because I had 50 vials on my desktop, stuff I was taking. I didn't know how many billions of this to take. So the multi-GI5 solves all of that. So I wanted to say, listen, take just this or these two or three things and you're going to be cool. Like I had 50 bottles. I didn't know what I was taking. I was taking so many pill sweeps. I'm like, man, it take you hours to take.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real, man, because it is and my God, like I know now I'm 44. Yeah, yeah, 40. I had to think about that for a second. I'm 44 now, and I get that like as we get older, it gets a little harder. It's not as easy as before, but you hit on something that I'd love to go in on is but talked about, observing, taking a little bits, but like we that's hard, right? That takes like a massive amount of discipline, and you're so true because like I think so many people try these different diets, and it's like you like I did the no carb thing, right? The paleo thing. I did it for like
Yeah.
a year. Now I lost like 40 pounds. Like I was down to my high school weight, like my junior senior year. But then it was like that one moment. Well, actually, the one moment was I had a kid, right? My daughter, and like I
All
couldn't
right.
exercise and do all this stuff. And then you're eating when you can. And then to your point, that like I got one, and then it was two, and then I'm doing buffalo chicken subs and like the whole 9 yards. And you're like, before you know, you're all in. But let me ask, what is your like? What does your regiment look like? Like, what does your day look like? Because I'm just curious to know. You wake up in the morning, like, what do you eat? Like, I've been trying the past week, like, trying to do more fruits and things of that nature.
Yeah, you got to really look into the nightshade vegetables and fruits, that may seem to be good, but they're not good for everyone. And I'm big now on the light on the gluten thing
Mhm.
because that also has a lot of bad stuff in it for me.
Yeah.
Because, years ago I had gastric bypass, 21 years ago, and I have to be cognizant of that so that I don't get IBS or any of this kind of stuff. So gluten is not the best thing for me, probably for anyone really,
Mhm.
but should definitely go to your doctor and check your gluten tolerance. And go to the doctor, get an allergy test, see what you could be allergic to. Maybe you're allergic to wheat. So that's the gluten, you know what I'm saying? So I had to do that. But for me, I think about protein first in the morning, tons of water, lemon, greatest thing you can have. Cup of coffee, some eggs, veggies in it, and maybe one piece of toast. Sensible.
Wow. Interesting.
Maybe one small fruit.
Oh,
One. Not a whole fruit salad dripping with juice. No, no. Fresh, small.
wow, that's interesting.
And I think about lunch. I think about a salad. I think about some protein on what's going to be the protein, chicken or fish or whatever. Don't do much beef anymore, but it's cool.
Yeah,
Don't do pork at all.
yeah.
But do a little bit every now and then. I have some vegan or vegetarian days where I do the Impossible or the Beyond Meat I kind of mix it up because the last thing you want to do is get bored with your diet.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Yes. And that's
Don't
so
get bored.
yeah. Yeah, that's so easy. So I got one thing I was talking to another brother who's a bit of a social media influencer in the like health and cooking space. And what was interesting is he was saying, his late night snacks, what he does, and he was trying to tell me to do the same thing, is he gets a hard boiled egg and then he puts
Right.
hot sauce on it. Because he said something about the hot sauce, it cuts away from the cravings and everything like that. And apparently that's what works for him.
Well, one of the best ways to eat the egg is the hard boil. One of the best things you can do. So that's how you get the most nutrients out of it, or raw in a shake or whatever. But yes, tell him that's a good thing. That's a good snack.
Yeah. So here's another question. Like we are now amidst this pandemic, everyone's been working from home. It's been crazy. My life is chaotic, man. I'm like up at 7 a.m. and dealing with my daughter, then I'm working, and then it's like it's non fucking stop all day, all night. Because of all my back-to-back meetings from 8 to like 7, I'm actually doing work from like 10 to like 1, 2. You are shooting shows. You just got back from Dublin shooting the second season of your show. Like you're still doing music, right? Producing and whatnot. So like I imagine your life is chaotic as well. How do you stay healthy when we're constantly on the move and advice?
I got it programmed in my brain now. What's good to eat, what's not good to eat. So I know, and by the way, I never go hungry. So grazing, even if you have to eat small meals throughout the day, do whatever it takes, but never go where you're starving. Because that's when, once again, bad habits set in.
Yeah.
You know, you hear people say, God, man, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. You try to, and that's throwing your thing way off. You know what I'm saying? You never want to get there because there's no reason. And that's where all the cravings start. As soon as you start, oh my God, I'm so tired. I forgot to eat. Oh, here we go. Get ready for that 32-ounce T-bone.
So let me ask, man. Another piece I want to touch on too is like working out. Like, are you working out? And are you working out? Like, what does your exercise routine look like?
Peloton bike,
Oh, Peloton.
walking.
Interesting time, and Peloton's going through some stuff right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't negate the, look at him. He's looking all fly with all these fly
That's good,
glasses.
man. It's a good look.
Yo, man, you're looking very fashionable and fly right there,
You
man.
like that, right?
Look at him. I love it. I love it. uh, no, you know, I mean, I tell people just move.
Yeah,
It's walking. You like whatever. I ain't
yeah,
got nowhere to walk. I live in the hood. Walk in the mall. Walk on a safe street. Drive somewhere. Ride somewhere. I mean, whatever it takes.
yeah,
Move.
yeah. It's interesting. I
Once
so
again, once again, don't make it so hard.
yeah,
Anything with movement is good. Go dancing. Dance in
that's a
your own
great point.
house.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I gotta tell you, like we got, in the beginning of the pandemic, we got a Peloton bike, and I can tell you, it's been the best. And here's why it's been the best thing for me and my wife because it's easy, right? Like,
Yeah.
and granted, I'm not gonna sit here and act like everyone has $1,000 or whatever, $1,500, whatever it costs to get a bike. But I'm just saying, if you can, right, if it's feasible, it's easy to like. I'm like coming from here, go to the bike is in my bedroom, hit that bike real quick, hop in the shower, then I'm back down here or in bed if it's late at night. It's just easy.
Yeah, make it easy for yourself. That's the key here. Because
Yeah.
if it becomes too try hard, you got to put too much thought in, oh man, you might be in trouble.
So let me ask you about self-care because I think self-care is another big one, right? We talk about, and again, right? Like we're busy as hell. Clearly, you're busy as hell. How are you actually focusing on your personal self-care?
Well, with that psychology and that therapy, whatever you want to do, with the first, with got to learn to love ourselves, no matter what size, shape, where you from, how much money, no money, little money, neath money, whatever the hell it is, whatever you look like, whatever it is, learn to love yourself. Because within you is everything you need. Don't forget that. Within you, you got everything you need. Now you got to call it up. You got to find it, but it's in there. It ain't in nobody else. Nobody else makes you happy. That's not the key. You are the key and the motivator. If you can't get to that, any and everything else is going to be very difficult. So, that therapist, whomever that is, that clergy person, that healthcare, whatever you can do, learn to love self. Because that's the key. If you don't, you ain't gonna treat yourself good.
Yeah,
You see
yeah,
people all the time. Because most of my things with humans in general, all of us, we don't know who we are. We haven't found out who we are. We're not trying to find out who we are. And we haven't chosen to be who we are. Because we're all different. You and I are similar, but we're different. So what maybe motivates you doesn't necessarily motivate me. There's no one size fits all, but there's something in you that motivates you. Like you have your own inner mantra, if you will. But you got
yeah.
to find what that is.
Yeah, that's important, man. It's so important for us to because in this space, right? It's so important for us to know who we are, self-identify. I mean, my God, this can back into so many things, right? We can back into like, what's the word I'm looking for? Code switching, like all that stuff, right? tell people all the time, it's so important to just show up as you because there's so much power in that. You know what I'm saying? So
Find and be your authentic self. Exactly.
100%. 100%. And I don't mean to backpedal, but I wanted to ask you this question earlier, and I had a note of it, and I forgot because we were talking about food, and it clearly sounds like I'm hungry as hell, or because I keep focusing on the food stuff, right? But I want to ask you, man, because I'm curious. What is red? I can't cook for a damn. Like I can't. Like Eggos might come out too dark, might come out too light.
Cheerios, Cheerios.
Can you cook? Can people want to know? Can you cook, Randy? And if you do, what is your go-to? It's okay if that's
A
a no
little
too.
bit, a little bit, a little bit. Like, barbecue or salmon or some steaks or some chicken or grill some veggies, you know. But after that, I mean, look, I can basics, but good enough to get it done.
Look,
And
I
that's
can't
a
even.
good thing because I can't get too fancy. So in the fancy comes all the calories.
Look, I have a hard time, man. I struggle. If I could get it on the grill, if someone gives me something, I put it on the grill. Grill is easy, right? But like,
That's what I'm saying.
so I'm just gonna go there because it's been funny that throughout this entire conversation I've been switching up my glasses, right? Because the funny thing is it was okay, as we talk, I'm gonna see if he actually notices that I keep swapping out a pair of Randy Jackson frames,
I love it,
right?
man. It's like an eyewear fashion show up in here. I love it. It's
This,
crazy.
this is integrated or native marketing or native advertising at its best. So I just want to put this out there because I appreciate what you do, and I also want to give you the platform to talk about some of the things that you're doing as well. So for those folks who don't know, so Rennie and we were talking last week, and I had said, man, those glasses you're wearing are dope as hell. And he said, thank you. I said, where'd you get them? And he said, oh, this is my line. And I said, I didn't know you had a line. And Randy said, you know what? Give your address to Harriet, and I'll send you a pair. So yesterday, I get this giant box in the mail, and I look, and my man sent me 11 pairs of glasses.
Yo, man, come on. You got to be fly, man. Come on. Randy Jackson Eyewear by Xylowear. Everywhere.
As,
Costco, Walmart. It's everywhere.
look, so I said I'm gonna switch him up our whole conversation. So I do. I want to give you a minute too, before we break, to tell us a little bit about that. Like, you're in a lot of stuff. You're in, holistic things like this. You're in the eyeglasses. Like, how did some of this stuff come about? I mean, clearly this was about your health, and you said I've had enough. I got 50 different things I'm taking. I need to make it easier. Health is important. Let's do that. This? Oh, well, I assume you're also known for your glasses, right? Every time you're on American Idol, it's a different set of frames. I mean, is that where this jumped off?
Yeah, and I wear them and I need to wear them. And I'm half blind. So, you know, I do things that really speak to me that I really do. And thank God music started me in this whole thing, and I'm so blessed to have that as a career. I manage a lot of artists and writer producers, and Harriet and I manage 4 or 5 chefs. We're developing TV shows, movies, scripted, unscripted. We got a lot of products that we've done over the years, and these are just two of them. We got a couple more coming. But I became, after Idol, I wanted to be more entrepreneurial. So I became an entrepreneur. I said, what things interest me? How can I further evolve me as a person, a human, a man? What do you want to do? You know what I mean? Because a big word of mine is next. Okay, got that? What are we doing next?
Yep.
Okay, got that? Where we're going next? Keep building and growing. Because to me, you got to keep growing and keep evolving. That's the whole thing of life. That's what we call life a journey.
Yeah, yeah.
So, speaking of the rock band Journey, we just made a new record, which is coming out soon. But I
Amazing.
mean, it's life is a journey.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's so true. You know what? I'm going to take a hard left here because there's just one thing I just want to ask you that I think people can benefit from. You have done an incredible job with your personal brand. Here's an example. I'm wearing an example, right? I think a lot of people, I'm going to say black people, struggle with that, right? Because there's this notion of, well, if I use my voice too loudly over here, my employer might think something odd of me, right? Or there's this kind of weird feeling of like, if I do that, is it too much? Is it too little? What advice would you give for folks about the power of branding? Because I think that you've done an incredible job with that throughout your entire career. And I personally believe it's important, right?
Well, listen, thank you for that. Well, the branding thing came to me many years ago. I was at a golf tournament in Jersey, and I was sitting at a table, me, Puff, Jay-Z, a bunch of us, with Ralph
That's some
Lauren
serious,
and
some serious name
with
drop.
Ralph,
That's
yeah,
some serious.
with Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger and all these guys. So Hilfiger says to me, say, hey man, what's the secret with you guys, He says, you got to be honest. You need to be honest. He says, well, I make my brand of stuff that I like because that's what I like, and I think other people may like it. That's why I wear it, because I made it. It's made in my image and my thing. So that's why you see the eyewear. It's true. It's authentic to me. I wear it. So let me only do things that are really next to me. Gut health. I wear it. I need it. We all need it. That's the thing that you want to do always that's going to resonate with people. Because if you being your authentic self and being true, nobody can hate on you. Nobody
Mhm.
can hate on what you're trying to do because that's who you are. Listen, I mean, if you wear suits every day, hey, maybe you need to make some line of suits. I don't know.
Love it.
I don't make suits because I don't really love suits.
Yeah. I I hate
The
to.
rock star in me doesn't love a suit. You know what I mean? I wear them sometimes. I go out of my way, find the craziest suits I can buy. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Well, look, Randy, look, I appreciate your time, brother, as always. You're always kind and humble and candid and authentic as hell. We appreciate that. We appreciate your knowledge. I will tell folks as well, go check them out. I mean, some dope frames. Randy Jackson Eyewear. Also check out Unify, right? Health Labs. Thank you, man. I appreciate everything you do, man.
Appreciate you all. Love you, brother.